What's up, you wonderful people on wherever you may be. I know it's Friday night, so I don't expect a lot of people to watch these streams, but I just want to do it because it's a great time for me to just do stuff that I want to do and typically just focus on building cool things. I stream Fridays, 9 p.m. CST time, like right now, and then tomorrow, Saturday, 11 a.m. CST. Have to look at the schedule because I don't know these things. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do great stuff. So today I want to just go over a Chrome extension I built. So if anybody's interested in building Chrome extensions, this was my second one. By no means am I an expert of building Chrome extensions. I'm just going to kind of showcase the code, what I did. And what I realized, and this is my second Chrome extension, but when I built my first Chrome extension, it was, again, something super simple. We used vanilla.js, and then I realized, you know what? Anybody looking for a cool project idea, but they don't want to use a framework. I mean, you could use frameworks when building Chrome extension. I actually do it in this case. But if you wanted to take a break from your normal website building, you're trying to figure out something cool to build for your portfolio project, why not build a Chrome extension? And what's awesome is this is like a good time and good place to practice vanilla JavaScript. So you could challenge yourself like, hey, I'm going to build a cool Chrome extension and I'm going to use vanilla JavaScript to accomplish it. So it's pretty cool, but I hope you're all doing awesome and having a good time. And let me know in the chat if you could hear me, see me, if the audio is fine, but welcome. And this is my Friday night coding stream. I'm going to try something a little bit different today. And the idea here is that what I want to do is focus on, I'm going to try a new format today. Normally, I just code live, which is kind of cool, but I realized coding live could be boring for a lot of people to watch. I much rather maybe just showcase what I'm working on and talk through the code. And that way, if people have questions, I could answer questions and so on. And I am trying to do a couple of different things right now, and we will see what will happen. My internet hopefully won't crash. But yeah, I'm going to try a new format. I'm also going to try to stream on Twitch at the same time. I don't know if it's a waste of time or not, but going to try that and see how that affects the stream. And I believe it's probably going to slow down the YouTube stream. I have no idea, but whatever happens, we'll figure it out. We'll work through it. But we'll see. And maybe streaming on Twitch is pointless anyway. So, but I decided that I'm going to give it a try. But anyway, if you're in the chat, say hello. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know the audio is not too crazy. And today we're going to talk about an extension I built, and it doesn't work perfectly. No, it does not. Nothing I build works perfectly. But the idea here is that I'm kind of exploring a few things. And so the way I started is I came up with this idea of something that I wanted to do, which was really, really complex. And so I was like, what can I do instead that's a little bit simpler? And as I learn new things, I could come back to my crazy idea I had. So the crazy idea I had, I wanted to create a copy and paste tool where you're able to, and I didn't build this yet, but this is what I'm learning towards to building. But you take a URL from YouTube, you put it into your browser, wherever it is, and it'll give you the transcript of the text. And what you could do is you could copy and paste that text and paste it to your clipboard. And the text that you copy and paste, it will literally edit that video out with that section where that transcript was taken from. And so you're able to edit your video or take notes through copy and pasting text and edit videos on the fly and have basically one video that consists of a bunch of different videos that you clipped text from, and you have the video and you have the transcript with time codes. And if I'm not explaining it well, that's still an idea. But what I decided to do is I'm like, okay, well, I need to figure out how to transcribe videos. Another idea that I had that I'm actually going to make changes to this current app that I have is basically create a way for parents to be able to put a URL into this extension. It could be whatever the hell, it could be an app, it could be whatever. And what it'll be able to do, it'll be able to summarize the video and then tell the parents, no, this content is not good for your kids. It's got a lot of stuff. What's up, Alex? And how you doing? And I think I'm like, my stream may be like minutes behind because of my slow internet connection today, but we're gonna see what happens. But hope you're doing good. How have you been? We got to get you on stream. Let me know when you're able to come by. Would love to have you. And try to stream in like a couple of different places at the same time. And maybe that's a bad idea. Probably is a bad idea, but I'm trying to stream on Twitch. And so I'm not sure how far behind YouTube is as well. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So let me showcase the extension I built, and then we can take a look at the code and jump through it. And if this is boring, that you don't gotta stick around, you could go. Man, 5 a.m. over here. I'm at the gym. Jesus Christ, Alex. Man, 5 a.m. legit. I wake up like 9 a.m. No, I don't wake up. Okay, I wake up realistically 7:45. 8 a.m. I'm out of bed. But good Lord, 5 a.m. I can't even imagine. So let me showcase this extension that I built. Let me share my screen here. So I built a basic Chrome extension using Vite. I don't know how you pronounce it because I've never used it before. It's kind of interesting. I used React and I used Strapi, which is like interesting. I was like, always use Strapi. So all of my business logic for the app is inside my Strapi, and I'm using OpenAI. And so what you're able to do, you're able to take a URL, right? You're able to take a URL from a video. So this is recent code report, and I'm able to go into my, oh, by the way, I also, because I'm using my API token for OpenAI, I don't want people just willy-nilly to be able to waste my tokens. So you can't use this unless you have a user account. So I have to log in. Bertzlovsky and I'll walk through the code and what everything is and does. And so you got to log in. Once you're logged in, because you're only able to make an authenticated request, you're able to paste the URL, and then you click summarize video, and it's going to do some magic in the background. And I think like here's another thing that I didn't think through. So here it is. I just showed you a breaking change here that I got to figure out how to fix. So notice when I closed it, it reset the view. So I have to figure out how to keep the view open or save the state of the view without navigating. So let's try that again. So there's a bug right there, but I'll click paste, click summarize video. And so what it's doing here, it's you can see video, it's downloading the video, then it's converting the video to audio. And if you're kind of wondering how we did that, I talked about in my previous stream building a CLI tool to do that. Then once it converts the video to audio, it's going to go ahead and transcribe the audio file. So then we could get a transcript. And David Goggins and Alvin, we got to get you on the stream too. Like all these people I miss. This is like the stream where it's like 2 people, 3 people hang out. Usually it's me by myself being lonely, but totally get it. But see, here it is transcribing the audio. Once the transcript is done, it's going to go ahead and summarize it if it doesn't explode. So here we go. And then here's my summary. So if you look at our extension, boom, we have our summary. So of course, it's more entertaining to watch a 3.5 minute video, but if you want to make sure, like maybe I don't want to watch the video, you could use this summarize extension that I built to summarize the video. And here it tells you what it is. And I wish I could zoom in. I don't think I can unless I zoom in. Yeah, whatever, it's fine. But here's the transcript to the video, and we could test it on another video. And there are some issues with this extension, and I'll talk about them a little bit more, but I'll show you how I built it. And is it done correctly? I have no idea. But the thing that Primogen, I watch his streams, really cool. I heard him say something that I was like really, really excited about, because he says it usually takes him, 3 tries to really figure out a solution to a problem, meaning like he'll build something, then he'll throw it out, and whatever he used as a learning experience building that thing, he builds it a second time. By the 3rd time, he's like, okay, I got it. I can do this. I kind of like that, because now I don't feel bad about building these testing projects. What's up, Shiam? Good to see you. How have you been? And good morning, saying hello here. And so this is like iteration. So I'm not going to stop myself from building things, even if I don't know how to build them yet. I'm just going to use the learning process together. So here I am. Let me go and see if I could transcribe this video. Let me copy the link here. And so this extension allows you to transcribe video. So again, I'll click summarize, and here you'll see it made another request to my Strapi backend. That's where I'm using my logic, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna play with this idea of maybe building a bunch of microservices using Strapi as an underlying thing. So I got this transcript, now it's summarizing the text, and boom, I got my summary. And then you could see it here, writing strong software resume. And here we have, you know, the summarized portion of the video. So I didn't have to watch the video, I just got the summary. So that was like my kind of extension. And the next part that I want to do here, which pretty much majority of the work is done, still has issues that I have to figure out later. But instead, what I want to do, instead of summarizing the video only, I wanted to be able to know, like, if it's like let's say you're a parent and you want to see if an hour-long video or like whatever video your kid wants to watch, you want to make sure that it doesn't have any crazy content. The second edition, I want to add this, which will be able to put the YouTube URL, and they'll give you the summary, tell you if there's any bad words in it, and give you a rating if it's like safe for young kids to watch, because you know how them kids like to watch YouTube videos. But anyway, again, this is just from the standpoint of learning and getting me to my next goal. So let's take a look in the code and kind of take a look at what's up. And if you have any questions about anything, like, definitely go ahead and ask in the chat. And there might be like a crazy like delay because I'm trying to stream to Twitch, and I don't even know if we have any viewers on Twitch, but I'm just gonna give it a try. I don't know if it's worth it, you know, but we'll see. And there might be like a huge delay too, so it's okay. Always trying new things. But taking a look at the code, so I have my extension here. So this is basically what lives in my Chrome browser. This is the extension that I made, which basically what you see here is this UI. It's living inside that extension folder, and there's a bunch of ways to set this up. The first extension I made using just straight up HTML and vanilla JavaScript, but this time around I decided to try something different. So I'm using Vite, which I've never used before. So basically it's another cooler way. Like, if you don't want to use Create React App, you could use Vite or Vite, however way you pronounce it, to make a project. The only thing that you have to keep in mind if you want this to be a Chrome extension, number one, you got to make sure that you build it, because this is the folder that you serve to your extension right here, this dist, and it has to have this manifest JSON file. And whenever you create your Vite project, I'm going to say Vite, I don't know, it's too hard to say to me. You got to make sure that you have this manifest JSON file. And this is basically what tells it, like, hey, this is a Chrome extension. And you could read more about the docs here. The most important part here is that, you know, we're using the index HTML as a root file. There's a bunch of other stuff here that we could talk about later. But basically, our index folder, this is where our React code gets inserted. That's our entry point. So as long as you have your manifest file, you're good to go, because then what you're able to do is you're able to go inside. I don't know if I have it open here. Let me open this window. I think it's Chrome extensions. So yeah, it's Chrome extensions. And so what you'll be able to do, you'll be able to click load unpack. I already did it. You could navigate to your folder wherever it is. For instance, my demo, OpenAI extensions folder, and I want to make sure that you're passing the project that's built. So I'm going to go ahead and click this and click select, and it's going to go ahead and add that extension. I already did it. And so here's my extension inside my Chrome browser. So it's working, and you're able to see my extension here in the browser. If you don't see it, it's because you have to go here, find it, and pin it, because they have a bunch of different extensions here. So that's like the basic gist of it, of setting up an extension. Basically, all you need to do is have that manifest JSON file, and you're ready to go. And you could learn more about it by going to the Chrome Dev Tools documentation, which you could look up in the docs how to build extensions and stuff like that. I think I should have typed extensions 101 extensions. Yeah, and here it will guide you through the steps. If you take a look at extension 101, you could literally, all you need is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to build. And the most important part is, like they say here, is you need to have your manifest JSON file. And here they kind of tell you all the different options and settings you need. Required, then you have your recommended, and then you have your optional settings. So that's literally what it takes to start your Chrome extension and start building it. Super easy. And if you were wanting to use just vanilla JavaScript, all you would do is you have your CSS file, your HTML file, and your JavaScript file, and you're good to go. I decided to, for the second extension, to use Vite or Vite, and that's kind of what I did. And because I use Vite, it was very simple for me because I love React, and so all of my components are basically my React components. I have my app.jsx, which is my entry point to my application. And here I am kind of saying if you have the credentials that I'm getting through authorization, like using auth in Strapi that's built in the box. That's one of the reasons I use Strapi, because I didn't want to create authentication from scratch. And basically, if you're not logged in, it's going to take you to the login form. If you are logged in, it's going to take you to the dashboard, which has the place for you to add your URL and also to log out. So login form is pretty simple, just basic React component. We have our handle submit and handle input change, and we're just doing the traditional on change for React. You know, we're taking the input and we're passing it into our form data state. And then whenever someone hits the submit button on the bottom, it's gonna call the handle submit function here. And what we're doing is we are making a fetch request to my backend. And this is where we're going to get our authorization token and the user. So in order to use this Chrome extension, you have to be logged in, because you know, I did not want to make a call from here directly to OpenAI backend, especially like there might be a chance that I could leak my API here and then people could use it. So I put all of that in a different server. And the way I set up that server, I just use Strapi, which is kind of cool that instead of having to create like an Express server, a Node.js server, I'm like, you know what, I could just use Strapi and put all my logic there, and I could put it behind the authentication that's already out the box. And so it didn't really take much time. And what's cool about it, if I wanted to add additional features to it, like maybe I wanted to log all the transcripts, I wanted to save them, I could add that functionality later. But that's basically here. And once you logged in, you're going to be redirected through to dashboard, which basically has my, let's see here. Basically, we literally, when you submit the form, when you add your video URL and click the button to submit, it will just run this function. And what this function is going to do, it's going to check number one, and I could delete this, I don't need that. It's going to basically check if the video URL exists. If it does, it's going to go ahead and hit the summarize video function, which basically requires the video URL and the video token, and it makes the request to my backend endpoint, which is built with Strapi that I'll show you in a second. And then I'll go ahead and do all that logic. And once everything is done, I get the text back from OpenAI in Markdown. So I have this Markdown renderer, so it goes ahead and renders it in Markdown. So again, if I were to demo the plugin again, basically you're able to just pass your URL, click summarize, and it's going to, number one, it's going to take that URL and send it to my Strapi backend. And on the Strapi backend, and we'll look at the code in just a little bit, it's going to go ahead, take that video and download it from YouTube. Then it's going to take that YouTube video, convert it to audio, because in order to transcribe it, you need to have the audio file. Once the audio file is done, I push it to OpenAI Whisper, which basically transcribe the content. And then once I have the transcript, I make another request to OpenAI Is it Chrome? Fix your title. Chrome. Dude, thanks, Bogey. I'm very terrible at spelling. Yeah, it should be Chrome. Chrome, that's the new word. Somebody should make the Chrome browser for the cronies. You know what I mean? And so there you go. We're basically got our summarized YouTube video. There's definitely issues with this, but it basically works. Based on what I learned, there's a couple of different things that I have to do, but let's take a look at the code. I made like a very simple implementation. So we looked at our front end, which is basically a React app that is a Chrome extension that's calling our backend. And I'll make this bigger here. And so again, I just wanted to implement this really quickly. So I just wanted to get it to work. My thing is get it to work and then refactor. And so here in my server, I'm literally created a Strapi instance, which took me like 2 minutes to set it up. And then inside here, source API, I added a folder called OpenAI, and basically this is where I have all my custom logic that allows me to summarize the video. So we have a route, and so whenever someone hits that route, OpenAI summarize, and like I showed from the front end, you do need to provide a token because you need to be authenticated. Once that happens, and what's cool about Strapi, it's like you could literally set up in 2 minutes and you pretty much have an app where you could create custom routes, controller services, middleware, and policies. So it's like really quick to set up a backend. Like, you know, you don't even have to use the CMS kind of features. You could just use it to quickly set up an API. And I hope in the future they do have a exposed API layer for people that just want to use it as an API. I think it'll be cool. But, you know, but if, for instance, if I wanted to add additional logic, it's very easy to do. So once we hit our route, we go call our create video summary controller. So it's inside our controller folder. And here what we're doing is I pretty much stuck everything into one place, and I created a couple of different services. So I have a download video file service, which is going to download the video from YouTube. Then I have convert video to audio service that's going to go ahead and convert the video to audio because we need to pass an audio file to get the transcription. Then I created another service where I'm able to make a request to OpenAI, and I call it OpenAI request. And then I pass like whichever API I want to hit, like do you want to hit transcription or do you want to hit completion? And I'll show you that in just a moment here. But basically, once you make a request from our Chrome extension, it basically goes through these steps. Download the video, convert to audio, transcribe the video, summarize the video, and then it returns that data to our Chrome extension here. And then we get it in Markdown. And I'll show you why we're getting it in Markdown. But, you know, this is my second Chrome extension. I'm pretty excited like how cool it is and fun it is. Again, like I said before, if anybody's bored building like normal projects, try building an interesting Chrome extension. And so let's take a look at our services. So in our services, I have two files. OpenAI is specific to OpenAI API. So they have like there's text transcription, text completion, bunch of other. So if I want to add additional functionality that are OpenAI related, I would put them into that into this folder. But then for utils, this is what handles the video download and audio transcription. And so if you watch my past stream, it's very similar logic because we created a CLI tool which allows you to do that. But here we are, the first download video and convert video to audio. So here we basically have a function that uses the FFmpeg library here to make it, and we're also using YTDL or YouTube download, another great package that makes downloading videos from YouTube simple. And so basically I'm using those two libraries to go ahead and download the video. And once the video is done, then we hit convert video to audio. And in this one, you know, basically we're using the FFmpeg library to transcribe the video to audio, and you could read more in the docs. and so this was a learning process for me. So that was kind of cool. So we have those two functions to get the video and the audio. Now here I have an interesting thing called generate unique file name. And so what I was thinking about and what the issue is running, why have two people make a request at the same time to the server? And although we're saving the file temporarily, right, I didn't want to have a name here that is just the same, because as soon as somebody else hits the server, it'll just overwrite that same file. So what I ended up doing, and I don't know if this is the right way of doing it, but I created a function here that's going to, we're using crypto from, what the hell is the library called? bcrypt or whatever it is. And what we're able to do is we're creating a random string, and we're creating a timestamp, and then we are appending the random string. And so this creates unique file names. So if a bunch of people use or hit the API at the same time, there's no naming collision. And so that was kind of like something I discovered after the fact that I had to do. Once this is done, right? So in our controller, again, we just looked at download video, convert video. When that's done, we hit our OpenAI request service, which has two different functions in there. It has, I'll show you to you in a second. So let's go to OpenAI. And so here I am configuring my OpenAI. I'm getting my API key that we need, that is secret to us. And that's coming from my env file. And this function basically will instantiate the OpenAI so I could use it. And so I'm calling it inside my OpenAI request function. So this basically configures this and makes it easy. I have a default prompt here, and then eventually I'll make this where you could pass it as an argument. But basically my prompt here is summarize the following text with headings, sections, and bullet points, and return markdown. And we have create completion and create transcription. And create transcription probably should be here because that happens first. Not that it matters, but just like if you're reading it, it makes more sense. And so we have two functions. Create text transcription will basically takes an audio file and it calls the OpenAI Whisper AI model that is responsible for taking an audio file and transcribing it to text. Once that is transcribed, then it's going to be passed to create completion, and create completion is what summarizes that transcript and returns that summary of the transcript. And we're using Text DaVinci model here. I am passing my prompts here that right now are hard-coded. That's fine. And you could learn about these settings in the docs. A couple of different interesting things with like using ChatGPT 3 or 4. There's a limit of how many tokens. So if you do pass something that's like way more text than it anticipates, it's gonna fail, right? And so I have to take that into account and figure out how to work that. What I wanted to do, if let's say I have a long video, I wonder if I could take that transcript and break it down to 4 parts before passing it to OpenAI, but something I have to figure out and think about. Yeah, that's something I was thinking about. So this is cool. Help by making the custom bookmark idea you had for videos that contain relevant info. You could then retrieve each video and navigate to the section. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff like based on what I'm learning, I'm going to do. But what I definitely want to do is have the transcript, which I don't have this done here, but I want to have the transcript with each word has a timestamp. So whenever you click on the word of the transcript, it'll take you to that part of the video. And that's something I'm going to do next. And I realized that the big failure on my part is, you have to figure out which services work best. So Whisper at this point does not do a good job returning word-based timestamps. There's a way to set it up, but you would have to set it up locally or set up an own server, because there's a specific, and then you have to do it in Python because that's what they created the thing in Python. And so for me to make this work with the way I want, it's going to be like a whole other rabbit hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this with, I think Amazon has transcription service that allows you to do transcriptions. Maybe it's cheaper or more expensive, I don't know, but it will basically return your transcript in JSON format where each word has a timestamp, which is very important if I want to create this ability to link to different time code in the YouTube video based on the transcript. So that's kind of something that I'm going to do. So here, I'm probably going to refactor to use AWS transcribed service here. In terms of summarization, I'll continue using ChatGPT because that's the easiest way to do it. But that's basically it for now. I'm trying to figure out if I missed anything. But yeah, so the point that I wanted to make, and whenever anybody's learning to code, it's a lot of us like get like afraid, like, oh, someone's gonna make fun of us for the bad code we write. Someone's gonna make fun of us for like, oh, you've made a thing that doesn't work. Newsflash, a lot of people build shit that doesn't work. And so the thing here, what I realized, and coming back to what I heard Primogen said, who's like, to me, he's like amazing developer. Like he's way smarter than I am. He's the one that I watch. He types so fast. I'm like, man, now I have to learn how to type fast. But he said, even at his level, he still like goes through iterative process where he'll build something, it'll be complete shit, complete garbage, but it'll be enough to kind of learn and start thinking about the problem he's trying to solve. And then he'll go through this iterative process, 2, 3 tries. And by the third time, he's like, I got this, I know the solution. And so that's something that I started to kind of embrace and do is your code doesn't have to be perfect, and right, like make it work and then refactor. And if I didn't do this first initial step of building this current version of the extension that is broken, I'm not gonna use Vim. I'm just saying, you have to use Vim. No, I'm not gonna go that far. No, right now, no. If I go to Vim right now, I won't be able to freaking exit Vim, and I'll have to restart my computer, thus ending the stream. But I'm not gonna be that of a purist, but I am going to improve my typing because I think it is much easier. Like if you could just type a little bit fast and not have to worry as point of friction. Yeah, so the point is like, don't be afraid, build things, iterate through things, and it's a process of learning. I'm sick and tired of how a lot of people say how easy it is to code and build things. It really isn't, and it does take this trial and error of trying things, of building things, failing at things, and kind of like trying to figure out how they work. And so this is why I do these streams, not so much to be like, check out, look at me, like I'm on YouTube. Like I just want to be like, look, I suck. It's okay. It's okay to fail. It's okay to mess up. This is the journey. And if you watch previous streams, I started how I didn't know how to do something, and now I'm getting better understanding. And another thing I started to do which is kind of interesting here, is that I started to build the same thing in 4, 5 different variations. So if you were here, like I created a transcription, like to transcribe video to audio, I created a node script. Then I took that node script, what I learned, we made a CLI tool that does that. And then I didn't talk about it on the stream, but I made a same thing for Strapi plugin. So I made a plugin which also transcribed video. So I took this idea of taking a YouTube video and transcribing it, and I made a separate Node.js app. I made a CLI tool. I made a Strapi plugin, and then I made a Chrome extension. So I built 4 different things doing the same thing, which helped me to kind of iterate through the thought process and help me kind of remember things and learn a little bit more. So don't be shy, build stuff. And the next step for me is what I want to do now for this particular plugin. What I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on getting the transcription to include time codes. So the app that I am working towards building, which I don't have all the knowledge and all the steps, but I want to create a thing where you have a YouTube link, right? You put it in and it'll show you the video and it'll show you the transcript. And let's say you read the transcript and you're like, I don't need all this information, but it'll be cool to have this small piece of it. And so you highlight the text that you want, you click copy, and what it does, it copies that text and you paste it into a different window. But it doesn't just copy the text. Because you have the time code, so it's like, hey, this started at, at this time and ends it here. I'm going to now also take that video file, cut that time out of it, and paste it here. So now you have a clip of the video with the transcript. And again, if you click on any of the transcript kind of like words, it will take you to that part of the video. Like I just thought about like another issue that I'm going to have, but I'll get there when I get there. But the point and the idea that I have is that you're going to be able to make a playlist of bunch of clips of videos, and you'll have that full transcription. And when you watch the video, it will show like, the clip from video 1, clip 3 from video 6, clips out. And so it's going to be like a cool way to bookmark or save like videos. And instead of having to go to one playlist to another playlist, see this clip, you're just going to have one video that's edited for you automatically that consists of a bunch of videos where those clips came from. So that's kind of like where I'm heading to do. And so what I'm going to do like on this kind of Friday night live stream, I think I'm going to, and this was probably like a terrible start, but with anything, you kind of practice. But what I want to do is I want to basically show stuff that I'm working and kind of talk through how I build it. So instead of live coding, it's just kind of quickly like showing you what I built, my thought process behind it. I think it's more useful for people anyway, because they don't want to see someone live code. They just want to see what was the thought process, how they built it. Even if it's wrong, like even I figure out something I did is wrong, and then I'll tell them like, hey, I did it this way, but it wasn't the smartest way of doing things. And so I think that's going to be a better use. So Friday night streams are going to be similar like this, where this is how I'm building something, and we're going to take a look at the code and go through it. I probably could have done a better job going through the code, because I realized I didn't even talk about how authentication was handled in detail, but that's perfectly fine. But yeah, so Friday nights is going to be like talk about what I'm building, kind of the process of it. Saturday morning streams are still going to be the same, where I'm just going to talk about how to get hired, like cool stuff. There's basically going to be a theme. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about why pair programming is awesome. So if you want to talk about it, I'm going to talk about a bunch of other stuff as well, like, why you shouldn't be afraid of artificial intelligence yet. Like if you're started learning to code, continue learning to code. It's still a good option, and go from there. And then I want to I'm trying to figure out what would be the best content to create that you all will want to watch. So if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. Yeah, dictionary works better as an array. And I believe, let's see, trying to collect all the words within 5 seconds intervals and store them in the dictionary. I don't think I want to have each word have its own time code, but the time code could be the key in the dictionary. You know what I mean? And so the lookup, I think that's what it's going to be like. And lookup is going to be really fast, because you have the key. It's the timestamp. So I think that's what I'm going to do for sure. And what's interesting, I'm kind of curious when you made this comment and when you hear me give the answer, because I think there's a huge delay, because I'm streaming to both YouTube and Twitch. I think I'm not going to stream to Twitch, but I just wanted to give it a try to see what happens. Not worth it at the moment. Also, I do have a community that I'm trying to kind of participate more. If you want to join our, because I don't like Discord. If you want to join the community, we have this community on circle.io, where if you want to talk to me, chat with me, if you want to join, you think so? Better as an array? Well, we will see. I'll try both, and whatever works better, we'll do better. So, yeah. And so anyway, I was going to say, I have this community that if somebody wants to join to hang out with us and chat, more than welcome. The way to do this, you could go to Coding After 30, which I didn't even finish the website, but I was like, let me just make sure people have a way to sign up. And so what you would do is you can go ahead and fill out this form, just your name, your email, your GitHub link, join our community, and I'll get an invite and I'll add you to the group if you want. You don't have to, but that's kind of what we've been doing here. So that's basically it for tonight. And let's see here. We took a look at the code. We took a look at the extension. So if you started late, I kind of walked through this extension, which allows you to take YouTube videos and summarize them, which is a start. I learned a lot of lessons. I also learned a lot of things that could go wrong. But what's cool is this, what I kind of like about this very basic Chrome extension is that I had the need that I needed to get summaries of videos and transcript of videos, because what I wanted to convert some of the videos to blog posts that I've done in the past. And check this out. We have our summary. Interesting that this time it did not render it as Markdown, which is kind of funny. You got to look into that, but that should be Markdown. But the idea is, and maybe I'm going to check out my prompt better. There's definitely issues with this plugin, but the idea is I had to solve a problem. And I was like, oh, I need to have a better way to get transcript of videos that I could use or scan easily to help me either take some of that content and convert into a blog post. I could literally make a prompt based on this video transcript, write a blog post. Right now I'm getting a summary, but I could just as easily change my prompt. Let's kind of do that right now. And yeah, I might be showing my API key here for my, maybe somewhere for my OpenAI, which I'm going to revoke after the stream. But yeah, what's cool is we could actually play with that. That's kind of interesting idea. If we go here, let's go to OpenAI JS, because this is where I have my prompt inside the service. Summarize the following text, convert. I'm kind of curious now. Convert the following text into a blog post with headings, sections, and bullet points, and return in Markdown bullet points. Feel free to add, which is a very terrible prompt here, but I'm kind of curious. Additional information if necessary. So basically it's can it write how you spell necessary? Necessary. I can't spell. There's gotta be, okay, we figured it out. Information if necessary, and return in Markdown. So let's try this. Let me go ahead. The server's restarting, it's rebuilt. Actually, I'm kind of curious now. And I don't have to rebuild my front end because I didn't make any changes in the front end. So let's go summarize video, and then let's see if it's going to create a blog post for us based on the video. That's kind of interesting. So this is the cool thing, and this is what I was saying, is that you can, let's see if did it fail. Oh no, it's doing something, summarizing transcript. So this is what I'm saying. What's cool with Chrome extensions, it allows you to build little apps. It's not like a big website project, and you could take your cool ideas and try them out. And I think this is something what I like about the idea. And check this out. It basically wrote a blog post for us. Oh my God, this is genius and insane. So I basically put this video, I got the transcript, and it went ahead and wrote a whole blog post.
So vector databases, the new frontier of artificial intelligence, the world over, and like, this is insane. Let's try the other video I have. So this is a video that I did on writing software development resume that gets results. Let's see. So we changed our prompt in our extension to return blog posts. So click summarize. It's gonna go ahead, do its thing, and we're gonna see what happens. It's kind of funny and excited, I'd say. But this is like the point that I'm saying. It's like the cool thing about extensions and building them is like you can go ahead and make something cool and interesting, right? And you could play with all these different APIs that you know and combine them together into like a service. And so check this out. We now have a blog post that was written for us based off this video. So I had a YouTube video and I went ahead and I was like, hey, go ahead and write a blog post on how to do this. So, and I could add like little functionalities. It could be like get a summary, you know, write a blog post, you know, check if this is safe for work content. I don't know, but this is cool. Look, it went ahead and created this amazing blog for us based on the context of the video. So I hope that, you know, this gives you some ideas of the things that you could do. Have some fun with it. But I'm going to keep doing these Friday night streams. And what I'm going to do is focus on the idea of like, hey, here's what I'm building. This is what I did, and going through the code. And if anybody has questions, like now, if anybody has questions about the code, I would much rather, instead of like trying to code live, is like show you what I'm working on and then answer questions. And if you see something I'm doing wrong, which is probably all the time, you can be like, hey, wouldn't it be better if you try this? And then you could be like, so like, I want to have a project that I show you, and then halfway through the video, let's do some pair programming. You could tell me like what I need to do. And so yeah, Cody, that'll be cool. The issue is with it right now, I think if the video is like 5 minutes long or longer. So I actually just changed the prompt, by the way. Instead of summarize, it basically will write a complete blog for you. But let me try this. But I think the video has to be like not that long at the moment. I'll figure it out. So I know you do some epic videos, my man. Like need like 5 minutes. I could probably do a short. I never tried a short. So I made an interesting prompt. I said, hey, take the summary. Oh, this is a 9-minute video, 12 minutes. Yeah, I got to figure out like a better solution. Maybe this video will work. When I use Docker for my web dev projects, maybe this one is not too long. Let's give it a shot. But basically I changed the prompt. So instead of summarize video, what it does now, it will write a blog post. And I also want to do a short because I did change the prompt. I don't think it's definitely not a good prompt, but I said in the prompt, I said, if there's anything you feel like adding, go ahead and add. So I want to kind of see what it does with the short, but let me try it on this one first and see what happens. Yeah, it's not, it's too long. It's too long. I got to figure it out. But I'll do a short. Let me go back. Shorts, and I changed my prompt to summarize stuff. But let's do this one. So let's see here. Oh, but how do you link? Is this the link? Yeah, by the way, Cody and I, on his channel, he invited me to do some pair programming. It was really, really awesome stream. Like, definitely go to his channel and check it out. He does amazing stuff. If you want to learn like code related stuff, Cody's definitely your man. But what's awesome, I had so much fun doing pair programming, and I think that everybody should do it as an exercise to help them learn. So if you're not in a community, if you're trying to code in a silo by yourself, find a buddy to do some code programming and watch this short. I'll actually put the short in the description here, where he describes pair programming. But let me see. So it's not going to give us a summary, but based on the context of the short, if it doesn't break, it should give us And I realize I'm not sharing my screen like an idiot. But here we go. It should. So the previous time didn't work, but this time it's not going to give us a summary, but it should write a blog post based on what you talked about here in this video. So we're going to see if it works, or is it going to fail? So it's got the transcript. Transcript is kind of like short because it's a short video. And now it's creating a blog post. And let's see what blog post will create, because I changed the prompt from summarizing to making a blog post video. Hey, Alex, I hope you had a good workout. What exercise did you work on? And so it made like a little short blog here. So here it is. Here's a little short blog post based on your short video that you did, Cody. So introduction to pair programming. Pair programming is an incredible way for teams to collaborate on a project. It involves two people working on the same code base together, with one person designated as the driver who types and uses the mouse, and the other person designated as the navigator who sets out the high-level goals. In this blog, I will explain the basics of pair programming and how to get started. What is pair programming? Pair programming is a software development method involving two people working together on the same code base. This method allows for faster development, better code quality, and improved collaboration. How to get started? Get it started with pair programming is easy. First, decide on the timer length. This could be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. Then designate one person as the driver and the other as the navigator. The driver will be the one typing and using the mouse, and the navigator will be the one setting out the high-level goals. After the timer is up, save your work, push to repository. Benefits of pair programming. Pair programming comes with a variety of benefits. Here are a few. The most popular: increased collaboration, improved code quality, faster development, increased knowledge and sharing. Conclusion: pair programming is a great way to speed up development, improve collaboration, and share knowledge. It is essential skill to have as a part of any software development. And you know what? This is not a bad blog post. Wow, this is nice. Yeah, it is. Yeah, all the code that I do here is open here. I had it open, so I'll share it. I'll put it in the description here. Oh, let me copy it. I'll post it here. Yeah, it needs a lot of work, and yeah, it's open source. I already, based on my first iteration, there's like a lot of problems that I already see, and I'm just gonna continue like solving them one step at a time. But where were we? Yeah, so this was cool. And for those that are interested, let me actually play the short here.
Haven't heard about it. The idea is I wanted to try to do strict pairing.
Hold on a second. I don't know if
you have like a timer.
Yeah, you could hear it. Let me start it from the beginning. How you start a
That's
short
running
from the beginning?
And for 5 or so recently. So the idea is I wanted to introduce everyone on the stream to what pair programming is, if they haven't heard about it. The idea is I wanted to try to do strict pairing. You have like a timer that's running, and for 5 or 10 minutes, there's one person who's designated to drive. So they're the person who's like typing on the keyboard and using their.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. That based on what you're saying, we could kind of see like, oh, that's where the blog post came from. That's kind of interesting.
The other person is basically something called a navigator. Set out the high level goals, like what you're doing in that 10-minute session. So this is actually what we do at work every day for the most part, is sometimes we'll have like a pair programming session where you have two people. So I add like Cody and Paul, and you come in here and you say, we want to rotate every 7 minutes. And when you click start turn, it basically designates someone as the driver, someone as a navigator. You can move this around if you want, but then you start your turn and then you just start trying to code together. And then when your timer is up, you're supposed to just stop everything you're doing. And since we're working on 2 separate machines, I would just like do a git add, git commit, and push. All right, yeah, let's just get started.
Yeah, and that's actually pretty cool. I like what Cody said. He said, I may use this for making email newsletter posts after I make videos. Yeah, and I think that's another great use case. And so like the cool part that I was saying is that whenever you're coding stuff, it's very easy to get stuck in tutorial hell. It's easy to get stuck doing things that you're just going from one website to another, and you're always thinking massive project, massive project. But you know what I recently started doing is like, hey, make a CLI that does something useful that helps you to accomplish something a little bit faster. Or like in this case, I love Cody's like idea here. Use it to make newsletter posts after you make videos, so you don't have to write that yourself. That's exactly what we did. I'm going to try another short actually. I'm gonna, 1 second here, try another short, but like it's a cool use case. Like, so make little CLI tools, make a little, yeah, exactly. And you should hook this up to a Stripe and market this up. Yeah, so I'm gonna like, because this was like the first version of it and it's kind of broken, I will reach out to you like and ask some questions like when I'm ready, but I do want to do that. I do need to figure out a more better subscription service, not subscription, transcription service than Whisper AI. I think I'm going to use Amazon because the issue is, well, I just have to figure out the issue is if something is too long, you know, it won't work. And so I have to find that middle ground and then also create proper error handling. Like if the video is too long, give a proper message in your, hey, this video is too long, please provide a shorter video. But I also was thinking, can you on the back end, if the video is too long, chop it up into like 5-minute increments, pass that individually to ChatGPT because it does save context from each previous post, and then have it generate the article based on the 3 previous posts that you did. I don't know, I'm thinking about it, but that'll be like a good idea, yeah, to add Stripe and make a market. And this is like what I'm getting, like what I like is because the thing that you showed, Cody, the icon generator, that's pretty slick. You know, and that got me thinking, it's like, hey, like try to figure out cool ways to combine existing APIs and create something that solves a problem and make these like a little microservices or micro products and then see what happens. Yeah. But let me, I'm going to do like one more test run with another video here from Cody. Let's see here. I'm kind of curious, but yeah, I think like, I like your idea. I think make a Chrome extension that summarizes your videos into little newsletters. That's pretty cool. So let's give it a try on this one. I'm kind of curious on the results that we're going to get. And by the way, the cool thing about this, because when we were working on a extension with Cody, he kind of told me like why it's important to hide your API and keys, and it's important to have a proxy server, and he used Node.js in his case. And I kind of did the same thing with Strapi. So you need to actually be logged into this extension and you need to be an authenticated user to be able to use it, by the way. And I didn't write the markdown file explaining how everything works. And now that other people are going to see it, I'll probably should spend some time. But here you go. We created like a little mini post, publish an NPM package. Can be a lot easier than you think. Recently, I've been working on a side project. Yeah, this is cool. Like it's actually doing a great job summarizing like the shorts and videos into these mini blog posts. So yeah, this is cool. This is cool. So a lot of fun. But I'll keep working on it. Good stuff. And always fun to see Cody here. And did you ever figure out if ITDL gives you transcript? So no, it does not. I believe you can get transcript by using Google, YouTube API. But I think it doesn't give you word, like each word is the timestamp. It gives you in phrases, which is not exactly what I want. So what I decided, and I mentioned it like a lot early in the stream, is that I'm going to look into AWS Transcribe service. And of course, like if there's a cost to it, I would have to make this a paid product, make sure that, it's not losing money. But for my personal use case, I'm going to see like the Amazon Transcribe service, how much it costs per transcription, figure that out. And I think that gives you time code for each individual word. And so I'll be able to do like cool things like have that transcript, and then you'll be able to click on the transcript on any of the sections here, and then we'll go ahead and take you to that part of the video, which I think will be cool. But that's like the other thing that I want to work on and figure out. So for the next step here in my code, where I am, no, not here. Yeah, and like here for, I gotta go into services. Here, I'm gonna replace Whisper AI with, hold on a second, API request. So this one, create transcript. I'm going to replace it with like Amazon Transcriber, and that should return time codes, and everything else is gonna, like, I think remain the same. So the idea is going to be get the transcript with time codes, and then maybe what I'll do is inside my here, like I'll create a menu button, and it'll be like summarize video, convert to a blog post video, or some other features, or just show the summary, or just show the transcript, and the transcript will be with like time codes. And I think it'll be cool to, even if you write a blog, it has like a little time code here. So if you click it in a blog post, it will go to the YouTube and will show you
a couple of days.
Like
So
that
the idea
YouTube
is I
video
wanted to
and stuff
introduce
like
everyone
that.
on the
So I think that'll be pretty cool and pretty exciting. So yeah, like I think I'm gonna continue working on that, see how far we get. But yeah, it was a good time. But thank you all for stopping by. I know Friday night, this is when people hang out, do stuff with your family. This is, Friday nights I spend in solitude with my cats and hang out in front of my computer. So what I think I'll do in the streams, like, again, not so much coding live. Even though it's fun, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a project that I'm working on. And I think what I'm going to do is go through the code, talk about what I'm doing. And then what I would much rather do is have this two-way discussion about the code. And then maybe you'll see something I'm doing wrong, or you'll have an idea. Like, I like how Cody came in and he had a bunch of ideas about like what I could do or how I could change the app. And I might try to do that. And I think it'll be more valuable is to like go over the code, see how I'm doing things, have a two-way conversation where we chat about, how I did it. Maybe you have a better way of doing things. Most likely you could help me correct my code. And then we could come up with like cool additional feature ideas. And I'll be like, oh, and then we could talk about it. Like, how would I go ahead and implement that? I think that'll be like much more useful. And Saturday streams will still be the same. It'll still be, soft skills and getting hired. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk a little bit about pair programming and what a good, awesome experience I had with Cody on his channel. And I'm also going to have a bunch of other topics, probably talk about how to use, ChatGPT for learning purposes rather than solving your problems. Like, the best way to look at ChatGPT 4, by the way, before I go, is look at it. Of course, it's a tool, but look at it as your rubber ducky or your buddy that you could think through code and reason about the things that you're doing. And so you might not get the correct answer, the complete solution with ChatGPT 4, but through engaging in this conversation with asking questions and providing feedback both ways, you yourself are practicing this ability to critically think and ask good questions about trying to figure out what functionality you should have. And that will allow you to figure out those solutions. And they might not come directly from ChatGPT 4, but you will at least be like, hey, these are the 5 things I tried, and I now know this is what I have to do. And I'll talk more about tomorrow how I use ChatGPT 4 to help me think through problems and talk about other stuff. So if you're around 11 a.m. US Central Time, stop on by. If not, that's perfectly fine. But with that being said, love you all. I don't have a new song for anybody, but I do have an old song that I'm going to leave you with. But with that being said, thank you all for stopping by, and go check out, like, everybody who follows me should already be following Web Dev Cody. If you're not following Web Dev Cody, what are you doing? Like, there's a lot of YouTubers that talk about programming, but there's, believe it or not that many good programmers that are on YouTube. You want to follow good programmers that have a YouTube channel, not YouTubers that talk about programming. In my case, I fail at both. I'm a mediocre programmer and a YouTuber, so I appreciate that you follow me. But thanks for that, and I'll leave you with this last song. I think like if you're peer programming, there'll be like a lot of issues because you like imagine you both suck at coding and peer programming would be hard because you're working with your peers. I'm just kidding, pair programming. But no, thank you all, love you all. I'm gonna leave you with the same song that you heard, so you don't have to listen to it if you don't want. But this is gonna be the end of show song until I make a new one. So peace, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. CST time. Good night.